Hey guys, Baz86 here, doing another stream. Doing another, not a stream, but a review on Sniper Elite 4. So, a favourite of mine. Definitely a favourite of mine. But, trying to review it to see if it could be a favourite of yours. So, just as we wait for the loading screen, I've only just brought up the game. There we go. Right, so let's go in game. There we go. So yeah. So this is Sniper Elite 4. It's about, the history of it is, it's a made up, well it's not, it's somewhat made up and somewhat not. It's set in a certain period of a certain time. You play as Cole, a guy named Cole, who has been with the series from day one, I think, because there was such a thing as Sniper Elite 1. I started playing Sniper Elite in Sniper Elite V2, which was part of the PS2, and then I moved on to Sniper Elite 3, and then I played Sniper Elite 4. So as you can see with the options, you have single player, which gives you an option to go through all of the things you can do on your own. So you have, this is just with the game at the progress it is at this moment in time. You start off on San Celini Island, which is the first mission. The way it normally works is you got a main objective that you need to do, and then you've got optional objectives around that you can do as well. Those main objectives could be up to 5 main objectives, and the optional objectives could be up to maybe 8 or 9, depending on whether you choose to do them or not. The optional objectives don't add anything to the game, they just are there just as a side quest if you feel like you have to, if you feel like you want to do them. So you have, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 missions, which in their own have side missions as well. And if you decide to get the DLC as well, you would have a mission where you kill a certain person, you give it away, and then three DLCs to basically add on. They don't really have anything to do with the story, they're just extra missions if you feel as though you want to do something else and enjoy the game even more. These are in my channel, I have done them, so if you want to see them, by all means, go ahead. So back to the campaign, we'll stick to a mission that before I forget, you also have survival as well, so you can do campaign and survival too. And you can also do this in multiplayer. You have the ability to do the PvEs, so you can do team deathmatch, death matches, you can do any of them. You can do team distance king, no cross, capture the flag, control, and elimination. So you've got all those you can do. Then what's nice is that you can do it cooperatively. So you can do campaigns cooperatively, you can do survivals cooperatively, and you can also do Overwatch, where one person is a sniper and one person is a spotter, which is pretty cool as well. But the only problem with cooperative is you can only have one other person as your player. You can't, so it's only, you work as 2 people, you and one other person can work as 2 people on, which is sort of sweet at the same time, is all of the campaign missions. So you can do all these campaign missions, and if you both have the DLC as well, you can do this DLC together too, which is quite sweet. You do that together, and there you go. You also have a shooting range if you need a little bit of a pick-me-up, where you've been out the game for a while and you want to remember how to use the guns and stuff. You've got that too that you can use. So let's just say I'm going to go single player, I'll select mission, and I want to go to the viaduct. I'll use, what do I normally, I normally go on normal. So, as you can see, you've got easy, normal, hard, hardcore, and authentic plus. So you got authentic, which is hardcore, and then you got authentic plus. And then you got custom. You can set it up the way you want to, however you want it. But I'm going to stick to normal. Then, as you can see, you've got the customization. Again, you can change these. You can change your sniper rifle. Again, if you have the DLC, which I have the DLC for missions, I don't have the DLC for everything. You can have different guns, and these are actual sniper rifles in real life. So some of them are good, some of them aren't. They tell you the magazine size, they tell you the velocity, and you can see it on screen. So those are the DLCs. Then you got your standard rifles where you can just jump in. You got the Springfield, which is your standard rifle. You got your Nagarts, which you unlock later on. You've got this gun, which I don't see why I have to purchase that gun. I don't know why I can't get it, but I won't purchase it. You got your Lee Enfield gun, which is a small rifle, but good nonetheless. You got your Cabrio 98K. You have your Guanin 43, which, from personal experience, is you got the description of the sniper rifle as well on the right hand side, which tells you a little bit about it. Of course, if you want to read it, go ahead. And you got your Carcano rifle too, with an old fashioned scope, we've seen, and that came from the 1941 version. It was adopted as an infantry rifle. So I'm going to stick with what I've got. You've also got a secondary gun, which if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother and you need to use it, you've got your assault rifles. You've got your MKB, your MP40s, your Thompsons. You've got a trench gun, which is your shotgun. You've got your MAB 38s, your FNAB, your PPSH-41, which is a DLC, which is a very good gun, which came from the Soviet forces. You got your OVP, your Sten MK2. These are all guns that featured in previous sniper rifle games, but I'm going to stick with the MKB-42. Of course, you can got skins and upgrades to each gun that you have, and for silence reasons, you also have a pistol. So I'm using an M1911, which is an automatic caliber .45. You have your M1934. You have different guns with different stuff. You got your Luger P08. You got your Army pistol 388, 318, 38, Webley MKB1. Your well rod, which came from previous sniper games. So if you wanted a well rod, then that's a good gun for stealth. But it's got low range on it, and rate of fire is not terrific. So you literally have to be quite up close for that to happen. And you got all your DLC weapons as well. Then you've got your med kits. I've got 3 or 2 You got your stick grenades, you got your suppressed rifle ammo, your suppressed pistol ammo, and your suppressed rifle ammo. So I got 2 of those so I can have a little bit more. And your medkits. You also got your edit skill tree up here and your scope. You can change your scope to the way you want it. Personal preference is advised, whatever works for you might not work for somebody else. You got your edit skill tree, which I'll just jump into that even though I don't know too much about it. So you got your rank 5, which is your max heart rate. Then you've got your target focus speed, your increased heart rate recovery, your improved search, your improved bandage, reduced full damage, little perks that help you as you progress through the game. Increased heart rate, slow heart rate, that all helps with sniper rifles and other things. If we go to press R1, you've got your characters. So your character is Lieutenant Carl Fairburn. Been in the game from, like I said earlier on in the stream, day 1. You got Captain Harry Hawker, who we don't really know much about him, but he hasn't shown up in any previous Sniper Elite games as far as I know. That's that. He is in this game but in no others. She is in this game but in no others. He is in this game but in no others. Mephisto, he's in this game but in no others. Same with him. There's Lieutenant Carl Fairburn again, but with different clothing. There's him in different clothing again. There's him in winter. And then you have Nano, who's just in this game again. American military police, and this guy here, who I won't spoil it, but yeah, he's just an important person in this game. Then you got your DLC. You don't know where these guys have come from. They're just in here for more characters. They don't have anything to do with anything of the story. They're just here. So we got keep it as we've got it, and let's start the game. And I click start game. So you get a loading screen again. Some of the time it's not too bad. Loading screen isn't that quick, as you can see, straight in. It gives you a little bit of a brief. Sometimes it gives you a little. When you start out, it gives you a brief talking of the thing. You don't start off straight away. You can talk to these people. You can, see what this little mission's all about. People you meet. To move around, left stick. Just like in Tom Clancy's, you got left stick, right stick moves the camera around. I'll tell you, just pick things up. You could either just walk into them like I just done, pick ammo up and things. That gives you a brief, talking to these people just gives a brief little dialogue of what's going on. But if you're not bothered about that, you just want to jump in, you come over here and you start this mission. I'm just using this as a guideline for this review. So if you had two people if you had co-op, you would have your friend standing to the left hand side of you, and he would have a marker on his head to show that he was in the game. The good thing about multiplayer is your friend, if he's good enough, can go off on his own, and there's no, in previous Sniper Elite games, there was like an invisible rope. It could only go a certain distance from each other. But in this game, that invisible rope has disappeared. You no longer have it, and you can go as far from each other as you possibly want, or you can stay close together. Whatever works for you. So you've got X doesn't do anything, this button. Circle crouches. You can crouch. If you press it once, you crouch down. If you press it up, you press it again, you crouch, you stand up. But if you hold it, you go into stealth mode, which, like in some other games, you could do this. You stealth around like that. Then you press it once to crouch again, and then you press it up to stand up. You can go straight down if you hold, and then you can tap to go, or you can go back down. If you hold it, that's how that works. You also have a weapon wheel, or this is quite common in games nowadays. The weapon wheel, you use it by using your right stick and selecting it like a clock. So if you want to go to medikit, you can select medikit by pointing the right stick in the clock of 11 o'clock position. Then 12 o'clock for gun, 1 o'clock for stone. That isn't unlocked yet. That's your 3 o'clock for your secondary gun. Grenades, trip mines, S mines. There's your stick grenade. There's your telemine. There's your TNT. There's your pistol, and there's your bandage. All I did was just go around there, like so. Or if you don't want to bother doing that, you can just use your D-pad. So your up D-pad is your sniper rifle. Your right D-pad is your secondary gun. Your left D-pad is your pistol. And your bottom D-pad is your stick grenade, and that can be shown in here. So you, on the bottom right hand corner, you can see what is assigned to which D-pad you use. And I've got it set up. Left is my pistol, right is my secondary, and up is my sniper rifle. Right, so now how do you use it? Well, left L2 is your aiming. To adjust with wind, you press to zoom in, you press the up D-pad to zoom in, or you press the down D-pad to zoom out. I'll say that again. You start off with 2.0 zoom. You zoom in with top D-pad as far as 8.0, and you zoom back out with down D-pad. Then your range adjustment is changed by your left D-pad and your right D-pad. So you can go as far as 500 meters, depending on the wind and the trajectory of your bullet. That's how that works. I just need to change. You have an icon in the bottom right. In the bottom right is your health. The red bar is your health bar. The blue bar is your heart rate. So your heart rate, however fast it goes, depends on how quiet you are and how focused you are in hitting or using your rifle. Heart rate is important in this game. So the first thing I'm going to do is, you have binoculars, and you use them by pressing R3. I'll show you that again. Press R3, use your binoculars. You use them the same as your scope on your rifle. Up D-pad is to zoom in. You can go to 20.0 and zoom out.
Isn't taking any chances.
So let's see if I can see anybody. So we look around with the right stick, and we've got a guy here. To tag our enemy, as you can see, you press R2 and it tags. Let's see if we can't see another person. We got an object. You can tag objects just to let them know that they're there. We have a guy down here. We have another guy there. And there. So a jagger, just so if you didn't know, a jagger is a guy who uses binoculars to spot people around. It gives you a little status about what he's carrying, what he's got on him, and what his allied intental is. This guy is an infantry. This is like your common soldier in infantry. What's this? Infantry, I mean, another jagger. So the star you need to go over there and put a C4 on that, so place charge. You go over there, and your objective, if you read it earlier, is to blow up this bridge, because there's a railway gun on it, and the idea is to blow the bridge up so the railway gun goes down into the water. That's your objective. So let's take a shot. So we move our take our binoculars off. We go back to our gun. Remember, that is your binoculars. That's your gun. L2 is your gun. Is your aim. Always aim before you shoot. Set up. Oh, hello. Sniper rifle's looking at me. So that shows that a sniper rifle is looking at me. So that's your sniper. He's got special items, which is sniper reports. And if he sees you, and he usually gives away your distance, you need to make sure you get him. So that is what I'm going to plan to do to get the sniper rifle. So I'm going to zoom in, sorry. And what you do is you set up, if you're about 500, well, he's about 554 meters away. So to counteract with that, I go to 400 meters, maybe even 500 meters, because that's how far he is. I wait until he's stopped. You always wait until they're stopped, and then you use this. When it goes red, you take the shot. Now, it might not always work, so let's see if I can do that again. He now knows I'm there. There's the shot. And you get a sniper kill. So I've just done a 558.2 meter shot from over here by just using the range adjustment, which you just got to work on how you're going to do that. You just go a little bit higher, because you know that the wind is going to play a factor, and you take your shot when you're ready. Now there is ammo boxes out there, you can use them. Now sometimes there might be reason, because there's something in the way, something stopping me from taking this shot. Now the nice thing about this game is the X-ray. At first I didn't like it too much, because sometimes it can get a bit gruesome, but remember, it is just a game, so it is awesome that it is there, but it kind of adds a little bit of flair to the game too. So that's a little bit of the background of it. So the gameplay, I would say, is sort of standard. You go into a map, you set the difficulty of what you want it, and you go around the map killing people at different ranges. You can use stealth kills, and you do have a knife on you too, so you can go up to somebody and get them with a knife that way. The gameplay, however, is standard at best. It's alright, but it's not too bad. It can die quickly, in the sense of, oh, I'm doing another map, oh, I'm shooting another person, oh, I'm doing this, oh, but when you come into it, and you never played it before, it is quite challenging. depending on what difficulty you put it. Also, remember, the higher the difficulty, the different controls are for how realistic you want snipering to be. I've just got it on standard, and it's fine. If I just take this guy out because he's just sitting there. So as you can see, my heart rate is going, well, you can't see, but yeah. As you can see, my heart rate is going down. You empty lung with R1 like so, and then you take your time in focusing. You can forget to do, you can forget all that nonsense and just do it just off the thing. But if you want to get into it, so there's 3 shots. That's another neck shot. And he's obviously dead. So the gameplay, I would say, I give it a steady 7. I'm not going to go too high, but 7 out of 10 for this. It ain't a bad score. The presentation, the look of the game is quite nice. The lighting, the movement of the game, the controls with the rifle, it's very fluent. So that itself gives it a high rating, and that rating I'm going to give a 9 out of 10 for presentation, because it does look very nice, especially on high quality TVs. Even on low quality TVs, it still looks beautiful. I remember I used to play it on a tiny telly. I had a tiny telly, which is what I'm known for. I had a tiny telly back in the day, and even V2, which was Sniper Elite 2 and Sniper Elite 3, looked gorgeous on that telly. So, looks all good. My pros and my cons of this game. Again, I'll go 4 pros and 4 cons. 1 pro is the feeling of what it's like to be a sniper gunman. It does have that ability. It could go into more detail, I have to admit, but the fact of the matter, you've got a sniper rifle and you feel like a sniper with it, which makes you wonder, why do you need this gun and that gun if you're just going to use your sniper rifle all the time? Sometimes sniper rifle, this game can just be focused on the sniper rifle and nothing else. Number 2, I'll show you what I'm doing while I've got pro. Number 2 pro, another pro is the stealth behind it is quite good as well. In the sense, it is actually quite excellent in the fact that you go around and you basically would not, if you don't get caught, you can literally, the stealthy side of things is pretty awesome. If you've got a player who does the same thing and likes the stealth aspect of the game, you both can work together. One can come in from one angle and the another one can come in from the other angle, and you can both stealthily take people out. Or you can, one person can go off and do one part of the mission. Oh, so I'm remembering this map. So this is the map. As you can see, it's quite big for a map, and the circles show that you've got to find a pilot in that area. You've got to find the plane in that area, and you can track them as well. The little diamonds are, like I said earlier, checkpoints. So you can do them if you want. You don't have to do them, but you can do them if you want. Or you can go straight ahead and do the railway gun. which for speedrunners, that's what you do. You do the speed run, you go off, pick that, and away you go. Third pro is the multiplayer aspect of things. It is quite rewarding if you have your friend in here and you work well with him and you both communicate well, that you can work together, help him out, he helps you out, he lets you know, you let him know what's coming. You target, when you've got your binoculars on, you can target a spot for him and he can go, oh yeah, I see him, and take him out and that sort of thing. So the multiplayer side is another great thing, that they brought the campaign into the multiplayer so that you could do the campaign missions with somebody rather than on your own. But it also gives you a good idea to practice as well on your own. So you've got both those sides. And the fourth pro is grenades. They are actually quite, you know, they are realistic. They do work. You can throw stick with grenades. You can set traps. So if I don't know if I have a trap, which I don't, but with the ammo boxes, if you have a trap, you can set a trap here, you can put it across, set a trap there, set a line trap, and then you can set all ways of different ways of killing people rather than your gun. You don't always have to rely on your gun to kill somebody. A con, one con I would say is sometimes a game can be glitchy. You'll have ragdolling going on. Somebody will die, a CPU will die or something, and it'll just ragdoll and flicker out and glitch into the game or into the map of some way, and it'll look strange. Number 2 con, losing ammo, or if you're just starting out and you need to change gun really quickly, if you don't know how to do that and you're doing that and you know trying to change your gun as quick as you can while trying to shoot, it can be a little bit irritating at times. And also, if you're down on health and you don't remember how to change your health kit, you know, you're not sure what you're doing, that could be irritating as well. But on the whole, this game has got it's got more positives than it has negatives. Oh, and the fourth con is a little bit grindy, a little bit samey at times, I would say. You just go into a map, do the same stuff, different objective, but the aspect of the game is still the same. Make sure you kill somebody, hit a shot, aim for it. I'll just pull off another shot while I've got a chance. Sometimes a square is not ideal. Always make sure you reload after every shot you take, or else you just run out of bullets quickly. So yeah, that's my pros and cons. And overall, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. It's a very good game. Its predecessors are very good too, and what it's achieved throughout its years has progressed. If you've seen what the first Sniper Elite looked like, I agree that from Sniper Elite 1 to Sniper Elite 4, there's been some big progress. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this stream and this review. It's not really a stream, it's a review. So I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I will see you in the next review by Baz86. bottled by me. So until then, guys, see you next time.